I've been chasing after Leo for 7 years. He has had one girlfriend after another and even allowed them to bully me. Someone advised him that changing girlfriends too quickly would damage his reputation. He pointed at me beside him, who was meek and submissive, with a smile, and said, "It doesn't matter. Anyway. When I've had enough fun, she'll take over. Later." He deleted all the girls who checked contacts and wholeheartedly wanted to marry me. But I just smiled indifferently. "Leo, what makes you think you deserve me?" When Leo brought his new girlfriend home, I was making soup in the kitchen. The new girlfriend was very beautiful, carrying a Hermes bag. She threw a sidelong glance. "Brother Leo. Who is she?" Leo glanced at me coldly, and said, "A nanny." The new girlfriend didn't ask any more questions. They started flirting and kissing on the sofa. I stood in the kitchen. The steamy heat rose from the soup pot. My figure must have looked very humble. When the soup was ready, I brought it out. It was pork tripe and chicken soup with ginkgo. I added several medicinal herbs. Leo often stayed up late and drank, which was bad for his stomach. And he was also picky about food. After a long time of research, I found such a soup that he liked and was good for his health. The new girlfriend wanted to take the soup bowl from me. I took a step back and protected the bowl. "I made very little. If you drink it, there won't be enough for him." The new girlfriend was unhappy and frowned. "Brother Leo, can your nanny do things properly?" I said softly. "I'm not a nanny." Leo glared at me and hugged his girlfriend with a smile. "Okay, don't take offense at her." Saying so, he took the soup bowl to his side with his other hand. "You said you love me the most in the world." The girlfriend pouted. "You can't even spare a bowl of soup for me." Leo coaxed her. "How many Hermes bags have I bought for you? Littling great. Tell me, if I don't love you, who do I love?" They laughed and played together. I stood beside them, lowering my head. After Leo had enough fun, he hugged his girlfriend and glanced at me. "Hurry up and leave." I insisted. "Remember to drink the soup. I spent a long time making it." Leo rolled his eyes and drank up the soup in one gulp. "Is that okay?" I turned and left. The floor mirror reflected my lonely figure. I was simply dressed from head to toe. Only a Chanel hairband was tied at the end of my hair, which also seemed to be quite old. This hairband was the only gift Leo had ever given me. It was a gift he gave to one of his ex-girlfriends. The other party didn't like it, so he threw it to me. I wore it like a treasure for many years. Everyone knew that Leo had a stream of girlfriends, and I was the steadfast admirer. Everyone thought I loved Leo terribly, and Leo himself thought so too. Otherwise, which girl would humiliate herself like this? But what everyone thinks may not be the truth. As I walked out of the Lin family's gate, I suddenly straightened my shoulders. The humble air I had before disappeared completely. I casually pulled off that hairband and threw it into my bag. It was like ending a tiring performance. I felt much lighter. My best friend Tina's WeChat message came just at this moment. She was also the only one who knew my secret. "Did that idiot Leo not suspect anything?" I smiled and replied. "How could he? He thinks I love him to death." 2. The next night, I was having dinner at Tina's house. My mom said that uncle is in good condition recently. He can eat by himself and is also very active in exercising. My eyes became hot. "Thank your mom. She's been so kind." Tina waved her hand. "Why be so polite? It's what we should do. My dad has been living in a mental hospital on the outskirts of the city all year round. Tina's mother is the director there. If possible, I really want to see him. I haven't seen my dad for nearly 10 years. I really miss him." "No way." Tina pressed my hand. "If you visit your dad, it's easy to expose your identity to the Lin family. We've been planning for so many years. We can't fail now." I took a deep breath and calmed my emotions. "I understand." At this moment, my phone rang. I glanced at it and sneered. "It's Leo calling." I picked up the phone, and my voice had become gentle and low. Leo. What's up? There was loud music on the other end. Leo was obviously in a nightclub. Annie? He said loudly without asking. Come and pick me up. The phone hung up immediately. Leo didn't worry at all that I would refuse. In these 7 years, he has deeply seen that Annie can come whenever he calls and leave whenever he wants. I stood up, took out the hairband from my bag and tied it up. After telling Tina, I took a taxi to the nightclub that Leo frequented the most. At 1 o'clock in the morning. The music was booming in the nightclub. I found Leo, who was extremely drunk, in the booth. To be honest, Leo is really attractive to girls. He has a dazzlingly handsome face. Even when drunk, he is like a jade mountain about to topple. Not to mention that he comes from a wealthy family and spends money like water. Over the years, there have been as many girls crazy about him as there are fish swimming across a river. I walked over. His friends jeered. Brother Zhu, why didn't your sister-in-law come to pick you up? The sister-in-law naturally referred to Leo's new girlfriend. She'll make a fuss if she sees me go clubbing. Leo rubbed his temples. Annoying. The official girlfriend will make a fuss. But I definitely won't. Brother Zhu, don't always play like this. Your reputation will be ruined. Then which good girl will be willing to marry you? A friend joked half seriously. Leo also laughed. It doesn't matter. When I've had enough fun, I'll find her to take over. He pointed at me. The friends all jeered. Oh. So Brother Zhu has already found a good wife. Leo stood up amid the jeering, and put his arm around my shoulder. Let's go. Send me home. He had really drunk a lot and his weight was all on me. I struggled to take him back to the Lin family's house. Then I cleaned the floor where he had vomited, helped him change into clean and soft pajamas, cooked porridge for breakfast, and put warm water and aspirin together on the bedside table. Such a process is already familiar to me. Because I do so well. Leo always calls me at the first time when he is drunk. In this way, I got the password of his door lock and can come and go freely from now on. After finishing everything, I came to the bedside and looked down at Leo. He was already asleep. The dim light of the bedside lamp shone on his face. When he was asleep, all the sharpness on his face faded. That handsome face looked clean and soft, and it was easy to arouse a woman's pity. But when I looked at that face, my expression was extremely cold. After looking at him coldly for a moment, I turned around and was about to leave. But my wrist was suddenly grabbed. The other party pulled hard. I lost my balance and fell on the bed. Leo is awake. He pulled me into his arms. The smell of alcohol and cedar spread into my nose at the same time. The latter is Leo's favorite perfume. Are you angry? His voice was hoarse and indistinct, due to the excessive shock. I was stiff all over and didn't get up for a while. But my mind is spinning rapidly. Leo saw my cold expression just now. But he seemed to understand it as I was jealous of him going to nightclubs and dancing with beautiful women. Secretly relieved in my heart. Fortunately, it wasn't exposed. But my expression must be tighter. I lowered my eyes and responded softly. Yes. Leo sneered. Annie, do you really think you are my wife? What right do you have to be angry? I am extremely calm. Drunk Leo has always been moody. I am used to it. However, I must act well on the surface. So I bit my lip. With tears in my eyes. Seeing the tears in my eyes, Leo seemed to soften for a moment. He touched my hair and raised the corner of his mouth. Don't be sad. If you are always so obedient. If you are lucky. Maybe you can really wait for me to marry you. Surprise welled up in my eyes and my tone was gentle and forbearing. Okay. I'll wait. That night, I went back to my rental house to take a bath and rubbed my hair that Leo had touched several times. So dirty. 4. There is a reason why Leo has been drinking a lot recently. 3 months ago, his father, the chairman of the Lin Group, brought his illegitimate son home. The boy named Ryan is only 3 months younger than Leo and graduated from Harvard Business School. The successor position that originally belonged firmly to Leo began to waver. Recently, there are many merger and acquisition businesses within the Lin Group. The financial data of each branch company in the past 10 years have been summarized and divided into two halves. Half was given to Leo and half to Ryan. And let them do financial report analysis. The intention behind is obvious: whoever performs well will be the crown prince of the business empire. Tina had already found out all this information for me. So when Leo called me to his office, I wasn't too surprised. Entering the office, Leo was facing the computer. His handsome face was pale and tired. He grabbed his hair irritably. I remember. It was you who helped me write the homework for the financial analysis course at the beginning. He dismissed others and asked me in a low voice. Do you still remember the knowledge points? I smiled. Yes. Rich and idle rich young masters never do their own homework. Of course. It is the infatuated licking dog who helps him. From high school to college, I did Leo's homework for him. So at this moment, he naturally thought of me. In this way, my external identity became Leo's secretary, and I could freely enter and exit the building of the Lin Group. And the financial data of half of the branches of the Lin Group also fell into my hands. Leo always leaves me in the office to complete the report for him, and secretly runs out to date his new girlfriend. I naturally have no complaints about this. Once, after working overtime alone, I wanted to get something to eat for myself in the pantry. The cleaner had already left. There was a snack bag thrown by someone on the ground. I accidentally stepped on it and slipped. Just as I was about to fall to the ground, a pair of hands supported me from behind. I turned around and saw a pair of eyes with a half smile. It was a very young man. The black haute couture suit jacket was draped over his shoulder. The collar of the white shirt was loose, revealing a clear and beautiful collarbone. I immediately realized who he was. Ryan, Leo's illegitimate younger brother. As half-brothers, Ryan and Leo look 3 points alike, but different from Leo's standard handsomeness. Ryan's handsomeness has a hint of indescribable evil. He took off his gold-rimmed glasses and his voice was gentle. Secretary Yu. I was slightly surprised. You know me? Of course. Ryan smiled. How could I not know the person who belongs to my brother? His smile was like a poisonous sweet fruit, making people feel dangerous for no reason. It seems that only the two of us are working overtime on this floor. Ryan said. The new bistro downstairs is good. I don't know if I have the honor to invite Secretary Yu for a drink. Emotionally speaking, I actually want to stay away from Ryan. But rationally, I shouldn't miss this good opportunity to get close to this person. The reason is simple. Half of the evidence I want to collect is in his hands. Okay. I heard myself readily agree. However, when Ryan and I came downstairs, an embarrassing scene occurred. Leo and his girlfriend Moshe were coming from the opposite side. The two were originally holding hands affectionately. But when Leo saw me standing side by side with Ryan, his expression suddenly turned cold. When did the two of you get together? Unlike Leo's irritability, Ryan's demeanor is impeccable. Brother. This kind of wording is suspected of disrespecting ladies. Ryan said calmly. Secretary Yu and I just worked overtime together, and came down to have a late-night snack. You fucking stop pretending here. Leo looked at me. Annie. Come with me. I stood still. This is the first time I haven't listened to Leo. He opened his eyes wide in disbelief. Annie. I'm talking to you. Are you deaf? He didn't notice that beside him, Mojwan's face had already changed. What are you doing? Leo. Mojwan pouted. When I went to your house last time, didn't you say this is your nanny? At this moment, I was wearing an Olistel shirt and skirt, obviously having nothing to do with a nanny. What's your relationship with her? Why are you so concerned? And aren't we going on a date? Why did you call her? The night wind blew, and my patience was gradually exhausted. I have basically obtained all the evidence on Leo's side. So what I need more now is obviously Ryan. So I pulled the man beside me. Let's go. Ryan smiled and said. Okay. Under Leo's extremely angry gaze, Ryan and I turned and left. 5. In the bistro. The lights are dim. I sit on the velvet sofa in the private room and have one drink after another with Ryan. Actually, I have a very good capacity for alcohol. There's no problem drinking until dawn. But in front of Ryan, after only a few drinks, my eyes become blurred and my movements lose their accuracy. Finally, when I was pouring wine, I didn't hold it steady. More than half of the bottle of wine was directly spilled on Ryan's shirt. I was startled and sat motionless in a daze with my eyes wide open. It seemed that my brain soaked in alcohol had lost its language function, and I couldn't even utter a sorry. Ryan comforted me instead. It's okay. Just as the waiter came in to serve the dishes, Ryan gave him a tip and asked him to buy a new shirt for him. He himself went to the bathroom to wipe his body. I am the only one left in the private room. After confirming that the door is closed and there are no cameras in the private room, I immediately jump up. My eyes become clear and all the drunkenness I acted out disappears instantly. After scanning around, my gaze locks on Ryan's bag and coat thrown on the sofa. I pounce on it and quickly take out Ryan's office access card and secretly hide it in my pocket. However, just as I had put Ryan's bag and clothes back in place and hadn't returned to my seat, the door was pushed open. It's too late to go back. I can only lie down on the ground on the spot, looking like I'm drunk and passed out. Ryan comes to me. He doesn't immediately help me up. Instead, he squats down and quietly examines me. Through the slit of my eyelids, I see his eyes are cold and full of interest, like a wolf looking at its prey. My mind is spinning rapidly. There is a wine bottle on the small table next to me, and I can reach it with my hand. I have already got the access card. If Ryan dares to do anything to me, I will immediately knock him out with the wine bottle and then leave the scene. He won't dare to make a fuss after waking up. With my mind made up, I calmly lie on the ground with my eyes closed. In the darkness, I feel Ryan's hand reaching for me, but suddenly the door makes a loud noise again. It seems that someone kicked it open directly from outside, accompanied by a woman's scream and the waiter's dissuasion. I hear a clear voice. Take your dirty hands off. It's Leo. 6. Leo takes me into the car and wants to drive home. Mojwan is very angry about this. I lie on the back seat of the car pretending to be asleep and listen to them arguing in the front. Mojwan, who on earth is she? Leo is silent. Mojwan, if you don't explain clearly today, we're not done. Tell me, who on earth is she? Leo, family. Mojwan sneers. Don't you think I don't know how many people are in your family? What kind of family is she? Unlike Leo's previous girlfriends, who only flattered him, Mojwan's family background is also quite good. So she has a bit of a princess temper. Leo, I tell you, tonight it's either her or me. There's no room for both. There is a sound of brakes. The car stops abruptly by the side of the road. Leo's patience seems to be exhausted. His voice becomes cold and impatient. Get out. Mojwan is shocked. After a moment of reaction, she still can't accept this fact. You're asking me to get out? Yes. Are you trying to break up with me? Yes. You. Mojwan points at me in the back seat in disbelief. You want to break up with me for her? Are you done asking? Leo impatiently taps the steering wheel. Get out by yourself. Don't make me kick you out. There is the sound of Mojwan sobbing in the front row. She is a top beauty with a great face and figure. She has been spoiled since childhood. Leo treats her better than all his previous girlfriends. She never thought that one day she would be treated like this by him. In the past, if she cried like this for a while, probably all men would feel and make compromises. But this time Leo is unmoved. After a while, Mojwan probably knows it's hopeless. She pushes open the car door and leaves. As soon as she gets out of the car, Leo steps on the accelerator, and the car drives back into the night. Soon we arrive at the Lin family's house. Leo carries me upstairs. He puts me on his bed and then props himself up on the windowsill and looks down at me. In the darkness. His breath is very close to me. I can feel his breathing gradually becoming rapid and his body temperature seems to wrap me through his shirt. But in the end, he does nothing. He just tucks me in and then leaves. After he leaves, I open my eyes in the darkness. Human nature is probably like this. When I was following Leo, he didn't even bother to look back at me. But when Ryan shows kindness to me, Leo's sense of competitiveness and possessiveness are all aroused. He can look down on me, but he will never allow me to be snatched away by others. I close my eyes and have a dream. In the dream, a little boy and a little girl walk through a long alley together and play marbles in a small base built with red bricks. The little boy has a pair of pitch black and beautiful eyes. The dream fades away. In front of me is also a pair of pitch black and beautiful eyes. "You're awake," Leo says. He is wearing pajamas and looks lazy. "I don't have any plans today. Let me drive you out to eat. What would you like to eat?" He summoned me whenever he wanted and dismissed me whenever he wanted. And I had no right to ask him to accompany me because I was nothing. But now, he takes the initiative to ask me on a date. Unfortunately, I have plans. I stand up and straighten my clothes. "Thank you for taking care of me. I'll leave now." Leo's face suddenly becomes ugly. "What plans?" His jawline tightens. "You're not going to see that kid Ryan, are you? Do you two really have something going on?" I look at his expression and suddenly find it a bit amusing. "So what if we do?" I smile. "Are you allowed to have a bunch of beauties in your phone but I'm not? I want to go out." Leo stops me. "Don't go," he says in a low voice, almost pleading. "As long as you don't go to see Ryan, I'll delete them all. Does the playboy want to settle down and get married?" I glance at Leo. His lips are pressed tightly together. Seemingly, I coldly bypass him and leave the house skillfully. Leo is not willing to give up and follows me all the way. When I stand by the roadside and call a car, he is still standing by my side. "Annie, are you deliberately trying to piss me off? Right?" Leo grits his teeth. "Do you want me to marry you soon and can't wait?" I really can't wait. But it's not waiting for you to marry me. It's something else. Some of my long-planned comebacks and revenges may be about to come true. In that case, there is no need for me to cooperate with you anymore. "Annie, marry me?" I softly interrupted him. "Leo, look at yourself. Apart from being the eldest young master of the Lin family, what about you is worthy of me?" Leo was silent. He fell silent. And his black eyes seemed to be quenched with fire. Before he could brew his next line, a car suddenly stopped in front of me. The car window was rolled down, revealing Ryan's handsome face with a hint of wickedness. "Miss you." Ryan nodded politely at me. "It's hard to get a taxi during rush hour. May I give you a ride?" I pondered for a moment and then nodded. Ryan smiled. He got out of the car and gentlemanly opened the door for me. I sat in the passenger seat, fastened my seat belt, and Ryan's car merged into the traffic. Throughout the whole process, I didn't look at Leo's face. Without guessing, I knew it must be extremely ugly. Ryan and I went to the bistro from yesterday. The waiter brought in various foreign liquors and then withdrew. I'm not very good at drinking. How about having coffee today? Do you want a cup of hand-brewed coffee made by me? Ryan didn't seem very interested. I lowered my voice and softly tempted. Even Leo hasn't drunk it. Ryan's eyes lit up. His face had always been like wearing a mask, always maintaining a perfect smile. After hearing this sentence from me, for the first time, I saw an expression in his eyes that could almost be described as excitement. I knew I had guessed right. Unlike Leo, who was spoiled and has a young master's temper, Ryan, as an illegitimate child, has endured hardships. These pains have honed his forbearing temperament and unfathomable shrewdness, making every one of his actions seem impeccable. But everyone has weaknesses. Ryan's weakness is his deep jealousy towards Leo. I went to the bar and returned after a while. I put a cup of hot hand-brewed coffee into Ryan's palm. Ryan almost couldn't wait to take a sip. Be careful. It's hot. I sat down opposite him. Don't drink so hastily. Miss, you treats me even better than you treat my brother. Ryan put down the already empty coffee cup. With curved eyebrows. How can I not seize the time to be grateful? Why do you keep looking for me so frequently? I got straight to the point. Very simple. Come to my side. I raised an eyebrow. Forked a piece of berry tiramisu and put it in my mouth without speaking. Over the years, there have been countless women around my brother. But I can tell at a glance that the most important woman to him is you. The sourness of berries mixed with the sweetness of cake. I narrowed my eyes and smiled. Okay. Ryan completely didn't expect me to agree so quickly. Instead, he was stunned. Don't you ask me why? What's there to ask? I said inferently. You are jealous of your brother. Ryan frowned. I'm not. We are both sons of our father. I interrupted him. Yes. Precisely because of this. You are brothers born to the same father. That's why you are deeply jealous of him. As brothers, he has enjoyed everything since childhood. Servants, drivers, and the best educational resources. While you and your mother lived in a shabby rental house and didn't get the recognition of the family. You had to study hard and get the first place in your grade every time to get your father to look at you. Only by graduating successfully from Harvard Business School can you get your father to acknowledge your identity and allow you to participate in the competition for the company's heir. In other words, after more than 20 years of hard work, all you finally get is just an entrance ticket to compete with Leo on the same stage. How could you be reconciled? Ryan's always flawless mask seemed to crack. He stared at me with cold eyes. You investigated me? Sure. I have carefully studied the information of all of you in the Lin family and know it like the back of my hand. Well, after all, you are Leo's younger brother. I smiled. Ryan said in a deep voice. Do you love him to such an extent? Love him? Do you think I investigated the information of everyone around him because I love him? I smiled. You are wrong. I have never loved him. Ryan frowned. He wanted to ask something. But there was great confusion in his eyes. That confusion then turned into a blank. He struggled to hold up his eyelids and tried not to fall. You. I stood up and looked at him coldly. I had added something to that cup of coffee. Saying so many words just now was just to stir up his emotions and make the drug take effect faster. Ryan still wanted to struggle, but eventually lost consciousness and lay on the sofa. I smiled calmly. I opened one by one the bottles of foreign liquor in the private room. Emptied the liquor to create the appearance of having drunk a lot. Then I asked the waiter for a blanket and covered Ryan with it. Mr. Lin is drunk. Let him sleep here for a while. After settling everything, I quickly went upstairs. Upstairs is the company of the Lin Group. Today is not a working day. And there are not many employees working overtime. I came all the way to Ryan's office. Before I could enter, I was stopped by the security guards. They all knew that I was Leo's secretary. Ryan's office is completely private. Without his permission, no one can enter. I took out Ryan's access card. Mr. Lin entrusted me to help him get the documents. If something important is delayed, can you be responsible? The security guards looked at each other and were all a bit hesitant. Obviously, they knew that Ryan would not easily give his access card to someone he didn't trust. Although I was indeed Leo's person, the relationships among the high-level executives were complex, and not something that these security guards could figure out. Just as they were hesitating, a huge noise suddenly came from the work area next door. The ceramic sculpture used for decoration was knocked over to the ground. The huge cracking sound resounded throughout the entire floor. And it seemed to be accompanied by shouts of anger. That voice seemed to be Leo's. Ryan. Don't play tricks with me. Tell you. Everything of the Lin family is mine. You can't take it away. The security guards left me and rushed to the work area next door together. I took a deep breath and immediately inserted the access card into the groove and entered Ryan's office. Ryan's computer was naturally password protected. But I was prepared. I picked up my phone and made a video call to Tina. The call was answered after 3 seconds. Tina, who was already prepared, gave me an okay gesture and pointed to the man beside her. That was the hacker we had hired before. With his help, Ryan's computer password was quickly unlocked. And then the folder password. When I finally clicked on the folder containing hundreds of financial data reports, my hand almost trembled. I logged into my email and sent them to Tina. Received. Tina said softly. Annie, we have finally succeeded. I quickly restored everything and then rushed out of the office. The office area next door was still noisy. It seemed that Leo and the security guards were there. Dispute. But I don't care at all anymore. Tears seeped from my eyes. I ran forward. The pain and hatred that had lingered in my heart for so many years finally found an outlet, and were vented out rapidly. After so many years, we finally succeeded. 7. I drove to the sanatorium to pick up my father. I haven't seen him for many years. According to the caregiver, he has always had a bad temper. But when he saw me, he was very docile. He let me pull him into the car and cover him with a blanket. The little old man with gray hairs in the back seat of the car. Beside him was a row of sweet milk I bought for him. It is said that he likes to drink this very much. So I bought a lot. However, he only drank 1 bottle. He looked longingly at the rest. In the end, he still resisted. He wrapped the rest in a plastic bag and hugged it tightly. Drink it. I coaxed him. I bought a lot. It's all for you to drink. Father shook his head. Annan likes to drink this the most. He said. I want to save it for her. The wind seeped in through the car window, left open a crack. Unable to dry the tears on my face. When I was a child, what I liked to drink the most was this kind of sweet milk. I myself have forgotten. But he still remembers. Although, he can't recognize me anymore. 8. I am from a single-parent family, and have grown up with my father. He was originally the financial director of the Lin Group. Of course, his surname is not Yu. And Annie is just a name I changed later. And his deputy is Tina's father. When I was in elementary school, something happened to them. Financial fraud. Economic crime. Overnight, Tina and I changed from happy little princesses to the daughters of criminals. Tina's father couldn't bear it. Before being arrested, he jumped from the top floor of the Lin Group building. My father didn't plead guilty at first. Later, he disappeared for a few days. After that, he admitted everything. During those few days, the Lin family carried out inhumane torture and intimidation on him. They threatened my father that if he refused to take on everything, the Lin family would have 100 ways to kill his daughter. To protect me, father went to prison. When he came out again, his mental state was already abnormal. Due to the drastic changes in our families, Tina and I were very precocious. Probably when I was in high school, I collected various fragmentary information and got many clues from Aunt E's words by beating around the bush. Finally, I pieced together the complete truth. I want revenge. Tina supports me. We spent a long time planning everything. The initiator of everything is the president of the Lin Group. But he is deep and shrewd. We 2 teenage high school girls have no way to approach him at all. But Leo, the eldest son of the Lin family. According to our investigation, he is a dandy and arrogant second-generation rich. So I changed my name to Annie and transferred to Leo's class. For more than 10 years, I endured and stayed by his side. Step by step, I became the most indispensable existence in his life. What we were waiting for was that day, being able to obtain the financial data of the Lin Group for more than 10 years and hand it over to the police. Now, this day has finally come for us. 9. I took my father to a city thousands of kilometers away to lie low for a while. The Lin family will soon realize that something has happened. And I have left my identity information with them. So I am easily targeted for retaliation. and Tina is still in the dark. She will take over everything next. A month later, the decades-old capital giant collapsed suddenly. A news story exploded and caught everyone's attention. The president of the Lin Group, that is, Leo and Ryan's father, was arrested. All his property under his name was frozen, and the police launched an in-depth investigation. When Tina called me, I was making dinner for my father. When I was a child, people always told my father that I should learn to cook from elementary school, so that I could get married well in the future. Every time, my father would frown and push back. My NNN is smart and capable. Which man is worthy of making her do laundry and cooking? However, I still learned to cook. But I have only cooked for 2 people. One is Leo and the other is my father. I put the cooked spare ribs into a bowl and served them to my father before answering Tina's call. The property of the Lin Group has been frozen. The real estate will also be auctioned off by the court. His 2 sons are now down and out. Tina told me. I had no expression and just gave a low, Ryan behaves more crazily. He has run to the Public Security Bureau several times to make a big fuss and say that his father is innocent. Tina said. Probably this incident is too stimulating for him. Think about it. A bastard has finally gained the recognition of the family. In less than a few months, the family has gone bankrupt. Years of efforts have been wasted. Who can accept this? It's strange that Leo. He is very calm. Calm as if. Tina was silent for a while before saying in a low voice. As if he had expected all this a long time ago. My heart skipped a beat. After hanging up the phone, I accompanied my father for a walk. Father's condition has improved a lot recently. He can already recognize me. We walked in the long alley. The moonlight quietly spilled on the ground. And on. Do you still remember that when you were a child? There was also such an alley near our house. Father sighed. At that time, you loved playing marbles. There was always a little boy playing with you. Stop talking. I suddenly spoke and interrupted him abruptly and a bit stiffly. I don't remember at all. The wind was strong at night. After strolling for a while, I let my father go upstairs first. I went to a nearby 24-hour convenience store to buy something. However, before I could leave the alley, a figure blocked me. He had a strong smell of alcohol on him. His hair was disheveled, and his eyes were bloodshot. It took me a lot of effort to recognize that this disheveled drunk was once the well-dressed Ryan. I still found you. He gave a low laugh. You bitch. Because of you, we have nothing left. I have worked so hard for so many years and have nothing left. I had a bad intuition, and turned to run away. However, Ryan was faster than me. He grabbed me. His strong right hand tightly choked my neck, so that I couldn't even make a sound of calling for help. After ruining us like this, you still want to run? Ryan sneered drunkenly. Unexpectedly, even if I spend all my last sum of money, I can hire a private detective to find you. We are finished. You don't want to live either. He choked my neck with one hand and raised the folding knife high with the other under the moonlight. The blade flashed a cold and chilling light. Ryan stabbed at me with the knife. In a flash, a person knocked Ryan away. I was pulled into an embrace. Familiar smell. There is no cedar fragrance anymore. But that person's aura is still familiar to me. Leo protected me in his arms. At the same time, Ryan's folding knife stabbed down, and the blade sank into Leo's body. Leo fell down, but he used his own body to press down on Ryan, hugged him with all his strength, and shouted at me, "Run!" A passerby who was jogging at night rushed over. I dialed the police call. I don't remember what exactly happened in that short minute. All the chaotic people and things swayed in front of my eyes. When I came to my senses, Ryan had already been pressed to the ground by the passersby who had arrived. Leo was lying in my arms. I tried hard to purse his wound to try to slow down the bleeding. The moonlight shone on his face, and Leo's bloodless face looked serene and clean. "Annie." He called my name softly. "Hey. Don't cry." I didn't think I was crying. but tears still fell one by one onto Leo's face. Now. He stretched out his hand with effort, seemingly wanting to wipe away the tears on my face. Are we even now? Before I could answer him, Leo's hand fell feebly. Leo. 10. Ryan was taken away by the police. I sat for many days at the door of the emergency room, staring at the lit red light. Medical staff came over and advised family members to go undressed first. They all thought I was Leo's wife or girlfriend. I shook my head every time, and refused their kindness anyway. I couldn't sleep even if I left. I sat on that chair for a long time. Later, when I really couldn't hold on anymore, I closed my eyes. My thoughts seemed to fall into a very deep place. That place was a long alley. I was still a little girl with 2 pigtails. A little boy with a dirty face and injuries stood in front of me, stuffed a handful of marbles into my hand, and rubbed my hair. Hey, don't cry. Well, I knew very early on that this little boy was Leo. At that time, he was very naughty, and always climbed over the wall, and ran out of his own mansion to come and play in our staff compound. Later, when my father had an accident, I moved away from that area and never went back. Later still, I changed my name and transferred to Leo's high school class. He didn't recognize me anymore. It's normal. That period of childhood is really nothing. It's really nothing. But clearly it's nothing. Yet there is still that one sentence echoing repeatedly in my mind. Hey, don't cry. I opened my eyes. A nurse was by my side, with a hint of joy, and carefully patted me. The patient has been rescued. I was stunned for a moment, and then rushed to the ward. Leo was lying on the hospital bed, under the effect of anesthesia. He was still in a deep sleep. I sat by his bedside, waiting for him to wake up just like I had taken care of him countless times after he was drunk. Father came once. He's also a pure child. He said to me in a low voice, "My dear, what happened back then was done by his father, and has nothing to do with him." I didn't speak. 11. For more than 10 years. There has been full of harm between us. Hatred lies between us. Love and utilization are intertwined with each other. And there is no pure form anymore. I told everyone that I had never loved Leo. Because I can't love. If I love, there will be a bottomless abyss ahead. 12. I fell asleep in front of the hospital bed. When I woke up, Leo had also woken up. He looked at me with his deep black eyes. His eyelashes were long and his pupils were wet. "Are you not injured?" he asked me in a low voice. I was stunned for a moment. When he woke up from the long rescue, the first sentence was to ask if I was injured. I shook my head. Leo heaved a deep sigh of relief. "I'm fine. I just wanted to come and see you." He turned his face away, his tone a bit stiff. "I saw I meet with a private detective. And then I bought a plane ticket. I was worried that he would do something bad. So I came to take a look. Annie. We are even now. In the future. We don't need to see each other again. Right?" I stood up, turned and left, leaving the ward step by step. There are many kinds of fates in life. Leo and I are destined to be an ill-fated relationship. Slowly going down the stairs, I walked towards the gate of the hospital. After leaving this door, there will be no such person in the life ahead. Goodbye. Leo. 13. Leo's story. Leo met Annie again when he was 17. Saying again is because he remembers this childhood playmate, and also remembers that she didn't have this name before. Including, he still remembers what happened to her father. A few years ago, Leo got up in the middle of the night, and heard his father and several uncles discussing in low voices in the living room. "Just push it all onto Lao Go and Lao Yi." It was his father's voice. "Threaten them with the lives of their children. They dare not refuse." Lao Go is Annie's father. From the very beginning, Leo knew that Annie's father was sent to prison by his own father. And then Annie disappeared from his life. So when he met Annie again at the age of 17, Leo almost understood instantly what this girl was here for: revenge. At first he wanted to drive her away. But no matter how badly he treated her, this girl still endured and stayed by his side. After a long time, Leo figured it out. Since Annie was definitely going to take revenge, it was better to keep her by his side. Otherwise, if she completely gave up on this path of hers and tried to approach his father or someone else from the Lin group, that would be truly dangerous and lead to utter ruin. So he began to Annie into his life. Unexpectedly, many years passed in a flash. He bullied her, always hurt her with the worst words, summoned and dismissed her at will, and kissed and flirted with other girls in front of her. Because, Annie, you must not fall in love with me. And I must not fall in love with you. However, Leo still failed to do the second point. A long time later, Leo reviewed all this and recognized his own heart. He didn't fall in love with her because he was deceived by those gentle illusions created by Annie later. Instead, from the very beginning, he liked her. He knows he is not a good person. For this reason, he has hurt many other girls. He falls in love one after another, trying to find love in others. But in the end, all attempts fail without exception. Leo resigns himself to fate. He just likes Annie. He has liked her since he was 7 years old. Later, his father allowed him to take over the company's projects. To his surprise, he found that his father still had so much blood on his hands. It turns out that this seemingly glorious group is built with countless wrong souls. He looks at Annie and thinks perhaps what she is doing is the right thing, so he helped her and let her enter the company. Half of the data is still with Ryan. This makes Leo feel a little better. He is in an extremely contradictory situation all the time. He wants to choose justice, but he hesitates to destroy his relatives for the greater good. Since there is still some crucial evidence with Ryan, then he doesn't count as taking the initiative to destroy his family. He thinks to himself for self-comfort. But he didn't expect Annie to choose to go to Ryan so quickly. Leo is crazy. It's not jealousy. He knows Annie can't really fall in love with Ryan. He is just worried about Annie getting into trouble. He knows Ryan. Ryan is a real beast in human clothing. Under the guise of a human being, he will stop at nothing, and is secretly crazy and fierce. So he tries his best to prevent them from contacting each other. And he didn't expect Annie to be so calculating to the extent that after just 2 encounters, she got Ryan's office access card. When Annie is dealing with the security guards at the door of Ryan's office, Leo is in the adjacent office area. He has access to the surveillance, and can see that Ryan has reached the first floor. If he comes up, Annie won't be able to escape. So he asks his people to go down and hold Ryan back. At the same time, he knocks over the ceramic sculpture and attracts the security guards, allowing Annie to successfully complete everything she wants to do. That's it, Leo thinks. In this life, he has let down too many people. He is sorry to his family, sorry to his father, and sorry to the girls who had short-lived romances with him. But at least he lives up to one sentence. That sentence was what he said to Annie when he was 7 years old. It was a promise. And he finally fulfilled it. 14. Just one step away, and I can completely walk out of this hospital. However, I stood at the hospital entrance for a long time. Suddenly, I turned around and rushed towards the ward. I opened the door of the ward. Leo was lying on the hospital bed. His eyes closed warily. Leo. I called his name. He opened his eyes and looked at me. His eyes full of disbelief. He had never guessed that I would come back. It's impossible to settle everything. Because of the rapid running, I was panting. But I enunciated each word heavily. How can it be settled so easily? You have hurt me so many times. Scolded me. Insulted me. And slandered my personality. I have been using you. Deceiving you. And treating you as my revenge tool. We owe each other so much. Now you want to settle everything? I tell you, it's still early. This life is still long. We have plenty of time to repay slowly. Leo looks at me for a long time. I see the tears welling up in his eyes. After a moment, I hear him speak softly. Okay. His voice is a little hoarse. We will repay slowly. 15. Promise at 7. A long time ago, a little boy and a little girl were each other's best friends. At that time, the little girl's family was not wealthy. Her father was just an ordinary accountant. The little boy stole imported chocolates from home and gave them to her. He also used his pocket money to buy her flower skirts and bow hair clips. The little boy had a lot of pocket money, but his family was not happy. His father had affairs with many other women outside. When he came home, he would beat him. When he was drunk, he would whip him with a belt. Every time the little boy was beaten by his father for no reason. It was the little girl who accompanied him. The little girl was the most important person to the little boy. The same was true in reverse. The little girl liked playing marbles very much. The little boy actually didn't like it that much. But because the little girl liked it, he would always play with her. Once, the little girl's marbles were snatched by older children from the neighboring street. The little boy went to find those older children alone. When he came back, he was covered in injuries. The little girl was frightened and cried. "Hey! Don't cry." The little boy stuffed the glass marbles into the little girl's hand. He patted his chest. "I will always protect you." "Really?" The little girl widened and her eyes. "Leo, you have to keep your word." The little boy looked at the little girl seriously. "I swear, no matter how much time passes or what happens, I will always protect you." Under the setting sun, they made a pinky promise and then chased and played together, disappearing deep into the alley. At that time, everything was so simple. They still didn't know what twists and turns and hardships the future would hold. But it doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. Because 16. I will always protect you.